Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today we're going to make some flowers and we're going to use the Perfect Christmas Rose stamp set. Now this is an old stamp set from Card Making Magic, but it also has matching dies. Now the way we're going to colour these flowers is with Brushos Crystals, and these are really easy to use. So all you need are the crystals that you can buy in sets and some water, and I'm going to use watercolour card. Now you can use any colours you want, but I'm going to use reds and purples for this sheet of watercolour card. Now this is some that I've done with oranges and yellows, and this is greens, and this is for my leaves and those are for my flowers. So let me show you how to use these crystals. So all you're going to do, now I've just pierced the top of mine with a little mapping pin, and that just stops the powder from coming out. You don't need to take the whole top off, you just need to pierce the top just to get the powders out. Now there looks very little there. Believe me, once you spritz this with some water, this will be beautiful colours. So I'll just use the two shades of red and the purple. So we've got some on our paper, and we're just going to spritz it with some water. Now you can see how the colours burst as you add your water. And you can add as much water or as little as you wish, but I'm going to add plenty because I want all these crystals to burst. Now once we've done that, we can either dry it with the heat tool or we can leave it to dry naturally. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to blot up the edges. And that will give a nice muted look for my cards. And then I'm going to dry the rest with my heat gun. So there's my panel in the reds and lilacs. There's my orange and lemon one. And this is the green one for my leaves. Now I've used Brushos, but you can buy this type of powder in many different brands. So I'm using a stamping platform and I've arranged my stamps at the bottom so that I can stamp them onto my coloured card. I've cut the card down to a size where I can stamp these four at the bottom and then turn the card round and stamp some more on this side, and that will give me a lot of flowers then for my cards. So we'll pop that into the stamping platform and we'll use some black ink. So we're just going to ink up the stamps and press this down. And if it doesn't stamp correctly the first time, or it's not dark enough, we can always re-ink it. So once we've done one part and we're happy with the result, we can turn this around and do the other side. Now you need to leave enough space between the flowers to add the dies in, because you're going to die cut these out with the coordinating dies. That's not stamped up properly, so we'll do that one again. And I'll give it a good press. And there we've got our flowers. So I kept the flowers in place and stamped up the orange card as well. And now I'm repeating the process with the green leaves. So I've added them to my lid. I'm inking up the leaves, I've stamped them once, I've turned the card around, and I'm now going to stamp them again. And that will also give me a lot of leaves to add to my cards. There we are, and there's some more. So once you've cut all your flowers and your leaves out, The only colouring that I've done is on this one, and all I've done is just colour in the red berries. Now you don't have to do your berries red, you can do them any colour you want. But once you've got all these leaves and you can start to play, you can then make up your displays, your floral displays, however you wish, and add them to your cards. And you can add as many cards in there as you want, as many flowers in there as you want. So now with all these flowers and flowers and leaves cut, let's start to make some cards. So we've got a DL card there, we have a top folded card there, we have another one there, and these two are landscape. So these are top folded but on the long side. So we've got two there. Now for each one of these I've created a mat that's just slightly smaller than the actual card base. And these are going to sit on the front of my cards, but they're going to have some kind of effect on them first. Either an embossing folder or some inking or some stamping, but something's going to make those bases really pretty. So for these three cards I've used an embossing folder. I've used the Trellis on the DL card, I've used the Simply Dots on the landscape one, and on this portrait one I've used the Flourish. Now on this landscape one we're going to do some stenciling, and I'm going to use this this Trellis one. So we'll just add this to the card. So make sure it's nice and level. And I'm using tea dye, which is a very pale colour. So we'll just put plenty on the brush. We'll hold this still and we'll just add this to the card. So I'm going to add it all over. And once we've done that, we can have a look, and that's fine. So that's going to sit on the front of this card. And now we've got one left to do something with. So we have this one. Now on this one I'm going to use some shaded lilac, and I'm just going to do some blending. So I'm coming onto this bottom corner, well I'm saying bottom, it will be the bottom of the card when I've finished. So we'll bring it onto the card and we'll blend it out the higher up the card we go. So I'm using Distress Oxides and I'm using a blending brush from Craft Stash. We'll turn it round now and we'll just spread this ink out, fading out as we come up to the top. So that's another one done now for our designs. So now it's playtime and we can decide which flowers and leaves we want wherever we want them. So we're just going to have a dry run first. Nothing is glued down, it's all freestanding at the moment. So let's just play with what we've got. So we can start to add leaves, and we can stick to one colour scheme if we prefer. So these have just got the orange flowers on them, and you can add as many as you want, but do bear in mind that odd numbers always look better than even ones. So at the moment now we've got 4 there. We need another small one. There's another one. So we'll swap those around. We'll put this down here at the bottom and we'll put that one there at the top. And we'll tuck other leaves in as and where we would like them. So as I say, this is just a dry run now. We're just playing to see what we like and where we like it. So that's one colour. This is a mixture of colours. But again, an odd number always looks better on your card. Now if we wanted to, we could stick to all lilac flowers. So we'll have this leaf at the top, we'll have the lilac flowers on there, and we'll have the leaves at the bottom. Now I think on this one we'll have some lilac flowers. So again we'll add in some leaves and we'll mix the light and dark shades together. So there's another one, and on this one we'll have a mixture, and again we'll have light and dark colours together. Now don't forget to add in the leaves as you go along, just to make your display look really pretty. Now if you don't like the way you've got them laid out, you can always change your mind. But there we've got 5 lovely cards, and we've got plenty of leaves and flowers left over to decorate boxes or more cards if we wish. And I think we'll have this flower instead of that one. That's better. So I'm going to go away now and glue all these in place, and I'm going to use a mixture of glue and foam pads. So there we have everything stuck in place. Now with the flowers that you have left, if you wanted to decoupage them onto the other base flowers, then you can do. Just curl the petals up a little bit so that they stand up, and that will add more interest to your cards and your flowers. So I'm just adding these with some foam behind them, and I'm just adding the one there, and then with these we'll add the paler one to the dark flower, and this is paler still, and that can go on that flower. So there we are, decoupaged and now ready to add more to if you wish. And I'm going to dot mine with some pearls and some sequins. So I've added pearls to each of the flower centres, but in my bit box I have found this, so I've cut it up and I'm just going to add this to my card. Take that little tail off there. There we go. And now we'll add this to decorate the flowers. There we go. Now each one of these cards needs a sentiment. So there are my finished cards. I've added my sentiments from the Thinking of You word dies and the Occasions word dies. I've used the Perfect Christmas Rose die and matching stamp set, And that's created all these beautiful flowers and leaves for my projects. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one, and I'll see you again soon. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.